Night falls quietly. The world slows down, lights dim, conversations fade, and one by one bodies surrender to rest. But while the mind drifts into silence, something else awakens. A quieter language spoken not in words but in posture, breath, and instinct. Every night your body chooses a position, not randomly, not casually, but deliberately. Guided by emotions you may not even realize you're carrying. Long after the day is over, long after you've told yourself you're fine, your body remembers what your mind tries to forget. Most people think sleep is just rest, a pause, a shutdown. But sleep is also a mirror that reflects how safe you feel, how guarded you are, how deeply you trust, how much you're holding in, and how much you're trying to let go. The way you curl, stretch, turn, or protect yourself in sleep can quietly reveal your emotional state. Without judgment, without labels, without a single word spoken. You don't choose your sleeping position each night. It chooses you. Some people fold inward as if protecting something fragile. Others lie open, exposed to the ceiling above them. Some cling tightly to one side, while others spread out as if taking up space they've earned. These positions are not habits alone. They are emotional signatures shaped by stress, comfort, confidence, and unspoken needs. And here's the fascinating part. Your sleeping position can change as your emotions change. During times of peace, you may rest differently than during seasons of pressure. After loss, growth, healing, or transformation, your body often speaks first, long before you consciously notice the shift inside yourself. This isn't about labeling you, it's about understanding you. In this video, you'll discover what common sleeping positions may say about your emotional world. The hidden patterns, the quiet signals, and the deeper meanings behind how you rest at night. Not as rules, not as diagnoses, but as insight. Something to observe, reflect on, and carry with you. So tonight when you lie down, pay attention. Because while you sleep, your body may be telling a story your waking mind hasn't finished telling yet. Let's begin. There is something deeply human about curling inward. The fetal position, lying on the side with knees drawn toward the chest, mirrors the earliest posture of safety we ever knew. It is the body's instinctive way of creating a private shelter, even in the open space of a bed. For many people, this position feels natural, familiar, almost comforting, as if the body is gently holding itself. Emotionally, this posture often reflects sensitivity and depth. People who sleep this way tend to feel things fully, even if they don't always show it. They may appear strong, composed, or capable during the day, yet inside they carry emotions carefully, protecting what matters most to them. This position is commonly associated with a quiet need for reassurance, not weakness, but awareness. A recognition that the emotional world can be intense and that softness sometimes needs protection. The curled body becomes a boundary, a signal that says, "This is my safe space." Interestingly, many people who sleep in the fetal position are deeply empathetic. They notice shifts in mood, tone, and energy. They feel the emotional climate around them, often absorbing more than they let on. Curling inward at night can be the body's way of releasing that emotional weight, returning to a place of internal calm. During stressful periods of life, people may find themselves drifting into this position more often. The body responds to pressure by seeking closeness, even if that closeness is with itself. It's a reminder that comfort doesn't always come from the outside. Sometimes it comes from within. If this is your natural sleeping position, it may be worth asking yourself a gentle question. What am I protecting right now? Not as a challenge, but as curiosity. Awareness doesn't demand change. It simply offers understanding. Because even in rest, the body remembers how to care for what feels vulnerable. and not everyone turns inward for comfort. Some choose a very different posture, one that speaks of control, restraint, and quiet strength. Sleeping on your back is one of the most revealing positions. Not because it is common, but because it is deliberate. The body lies open, facing upward, exposed to the space above. At first glance, this posture suggests confidence, calm, and a sense of control. There is no curling inward, no turning away. The chest is open, the spine is straight. The body appears composed, almost disciplined. Emotionally, people who sleep on their back often value self-control. They tend to manage their emotions carefully, choosing when and how much to reveal. This doesn't mean they feel less. It often means they feel deeply but prefer structure over expression. They process quietly, internally, and on their own terms. For some, this position reflects confidence and inner stability, a comfort with stillness, a sense of being at ease with one's own presence. These individuals may carry leadership traits, the ability to remain composed under pressure, to think clearly when others feel overwhelmed. But there is another layer to this position. Sleeping flat on the back can also signal emotional guarding. The body remains open, yet still, almost watchful. It's a posture that can reflect emotional restraint, a way of staying in control by not moving too much, not reacting too freely, not surrendering completely. People who sleep this way often place high expectations on themselves. They may feel responsible for staying strong, appearing calm, or holding things together. At night, when the world finally goes quiet, the body keeps that structure intact, as if rest itself must remain orderly. If you recognize yourself here, it may be helpful to ask, do I allow myself to fully let go? Not as criticism, but as curiosity. Strength and softness can exist together. Control does not disappear when vulnerability enters. It evolves. Because some people rest by holding themselves steady, while others find peace by turning gently to the side, balancing openness with ease. Side sleeping is one of the most common positions, yet it often carries the quietest strength. The body rests on its side, aligned and relaxed, neither curled inward nor fully exposed. There is a sense of ease in this posture, a balance between protection and openness. It's the position of someone who has learned how to adapt, how to settle without tension, how to rest without needing to hide. Emotionally, side sleepers are often grounded. They tend to handle life with a steady mindset, adjusting to change without losing their sense of self. Stress may still appear, but it doesn't linger as heavily. There is an underlying resilience, the ability to bend without breaking. This position is frequently associated with trust, not blind trust, but earned trust. Side sleepers often feel comfortable in their surroundings and in their relationships. They may not need constant reassurance because they have developed an internal sense of security that carries into rest. There is also emotional honesty in this posture. Side sleepers are often straightforward with their feelings, even if they are not overly expressive. They recognize their emotions, acknowledge them, and move forward without excessive inner conflict. During times of stability in life, many people naturally shift into this position. It reflects a state where emotional energy is flowing rather than blocked, where the body feels supported enough to relax, yet alert enough to remain comfortable. If this is your natural sleeping position, it may be a sign of emotional balance you don't always give yourself credit for. Stability isn't loud. It doesn't announce itself. Often it simply rests, quietly, confidently, and without tension. But balance is not the same as openness. Some people open themselves fully even in sleep, offering comfort to others before themselves. The starfish position is impossible to miss. Lying on the back, arms and legs spread outward, the body takes up space freely, almost as if reaching in every direction at once. It's a posture that feels open, generous, and unguarded. There is no pulling inward, no shielding of the chest. The body rests as if it trusts the space around it completely. Emotionally, this position is often associated with openness and generosity. People who sleep this way tend to be supportive, present, and deeply available to others. They listen, they help, they show up. Even when it costs them energy, they extend themselves without hesitation. But openness has a hidden weight. Starfish sleepers often carry emotional responsibility. They may find themselves absorbing the feelings of others, offering comfort before asking for it themselves. The wide, open posture can reflect a life spent being there for everyone else, sometimes without enough space left to rest emotionally. This position can also appear during periods of emotional fatigue. When the mind is tired from holding too much, the body releases outward, spreading itself thin. It's not weakness, it's the body's quiet signal that it has been giving for a long time. People who sleep this way are often natural caregivers. They value harmony, connection, and emotional presence. But their challenge lies in balance, learning that openness does not require self-sacrifice, and support does not have to come at the cost of rest. If this position feels familiar, a gentle reflection may be helpful. Who do I make space for? And do I make enough space for myself? Awareness alone can be deeply restorative. Some people give themselves fully, while others sleep as if they are holding the world firmly in place. Sleeping face down is one of the most intense positions the body can take. The chest presses into the mattress. The head turns to the side for air. The arms and legs anchor the body downward as if holding it firmly in place. It's a posture that looks determined, grounded, and deeply committed. But it also carries weight. Emotionally, this position is often associated with control. Face-down sleepers tend to prefer certainty, structure, and predictability. They like knowing where things stand. They feel most comfortable when life is organized, expectations are clear, and outcomes feel manageable. This posture can also reflect inner tension, not visible on the surface but present beneath it. People who sleep this way often push themselves hard. They may set high standards, take responsibility seriously, and feel unsettled when things fall outside their control. There is intensity here, focus, drive, and persistence. But there can also be resistance to fully letting go. The body presses downward as if anchoring itself against uncertainty, against vulnerability, against the feeling of losing balance. During demanding periods of life, people may find themselves shifting into this position more often. The body responds to pressure by holding tighter, grounding itself physically when emotional release feels difficult. If this position resonates with you, it may help to ask, what am I holding on to so tightly? Control can be a strength, but rest often requires trust. Trust that things don't need to be managed every moment, even while you sleep. Some people rest by anchoring themselves firmly, while others never stay still at all, moving through the night as their minds keep working. Some bodies don't settle into one position at all. They turn, shift, adjust, moving from side to back to curl, from stillness to motion, as if searching for the right place to rest. To an outside observer, it may look like simple restlessness, but emotionally there is often much more happening beneath the surface. Restless sleepers tend to have active inner worlds. Their minds continue processing long after the day ends, replaying conversations, sorting emotions, exploring ideas, imagining outcomes. Sleep becomes a continuation of thought rather than a pause from it. This pattern is commonly associated with sensitivity and creativity. People who move frequently during sleep often feel deeply and think expansively. They notice details others overlook, and their emotions rarely exist in isolation. Everything connects, overlaps, and evolves. During times of emotional uncertainty or transition, restlessness can increase. The body mirrors the mind's search for resolution, shifting positions as if working toward balance. It's not a sign of failure to rest. It's a sign of ongoing emotional processing. Many restless sleepers are problem solvers by nature. They carry ideas to bed. They wake with insights. Their minds rarely shut down completely. They simply soften enough to wander. If this feels familiar, it may be helpful to view restlessness with compassion rather than frustration. Movement doesn't mean resistance to rest. Sometimes it means the body is finding its way there slowly, in its own rhythm. But restlessness doesn't stay the same forever. As emotions settle, patterns shift, and sleep positions often change along with them. Your sleeping position is not fixed for life. Just as emotions shift, heal, and evolve, the body adapts quietly in response. A position that once felt natural may slowly change without you noticing. Not because of habit, but because something inside you has moved. During periods of stress, the body may curl inward or anchor itself tightly. During moments of confidence or relief, it may open, stretch, or settle into stillness. These changes often happen before conscious awareness catches up. The body speaks first. The mind listens later. Life transitions leave fingerprints on sleep. Growth, loss, healing, new responsibilities, emotional release. Each one reshapes how safe, guarded, open, or balanced the body feels at night. Sleep becomes a timeline, a quiet record of what you've carried and what you've begun to let go of. This is why paying attention matters. Not to analyze every movement, but to notice patterns with curiosity. A change in sleeping position can be an invitation to check in with yourself, to ask what has shifted, and to acknowledge emotional progress you may not have named yet. There is no best position. There is only information. The body adjusts in response to emotional needs, not ideals. Awareness isn't about correcting the body, it's about understanding it. If you've noticed your sleep changing over time, it may be a sign of emotional movement. And movement, even when subtle, is often a sign of growth. And now, with all of this awareness, there is one final thing worth remembering before the night begins again. Sleep is not just rest. It is a conversation, one the body holds when the noise of the day finally fades. In those quiet hours when expectations loosen and defenses soften, the body speaks honestly. It shows how safe you feel, how much you're holding, how ready you are to open, protect, release, or simply be still. Your sleeping position is not a verdict on who you are. It is a reflection of where you are, emotionally, mentally, and sometimes spiritually. It changes as you change. It responds to what you've carried and to what you've learned to put down. The most important part is not memorizing meanings, but noticing patterns. Awareness creates space, and in that space, understanding grows. Without pressure, without judgment. Tonight, when you lie down, pay attention. Not to correct yourself, not to analyze every movement, but to observe with kindness. Your body is not working against you, it's communicating in the only language it knows. Posture, breath, and instinct. If this video helped you understand yourself a little better, take that insight with you. Let it guide rest, not control it. And if you feel comfortable, share your sleeping position in the comments, not as a label, but as a conversation. Subscribe to the channel for more insights that explore the quiet connections between the body, the mind, and the unseen patterns of everyday life. Because sometimes the most honest truths are spoken when we're finally asleep.